Alright, we are going to fly an FS economy flight from KTDF to KROA 3 Foo Fighter passengers. These are from this other group I belong to, VR Aviation, where that's the flight we're going to do. First I put in the 2 airports. Then I go down here to more, open filters, and then open these last 3, and then say close. What that does, it gives you these waypoints that you can add, make the flight make a little more sense. So we're going to take off and we'll go to that point right there. Nice straight, and then you don't want to go at 90 degrees, so pick something over here. I'm randomly picking that. And then up here, since I'm not really a pilot, I'm just going to pick the runway I want, not the runway that's correct to fly to. So, I don't really know that stuff. And then we're going to back up, and we'll make that a straight shot. So we'll pick something like that right there. A little bit straighter shot into the airport. And you can see there's the probably would have been better to go this direction than to go that far down. We'll leave it like that though. Click fly. Then I need to come over here. And once that starts, I need to go here and say start flight for FS economy. I think if you start this too early and then the plane takes off, it'll tell you move the plane and it'll cancel the flight automatically. So we want to wait and not do that. All right, I'm going to click ready to fly. Take off the brake just to get rid of that annoying sound. Gonna make sure, I think we need that off. Pitot heat needs to be on. Right. Now I'm gonna launch that flight in the FS economy thing here. Tells you the airports, the cargo. On the other screen I got my map. Usually fly in VR, but I haven't flown in so long. I want to start this way here first. All right, full throttle. Rotating. Gear up. For some reason when I put the gear up, it triggers those pitot switches to turn off. I gotta look for a way in somewhere in Microsoft Flight Simulator that's letting it do that. Back off the throttle a little bit, back the mixture up a little bit. You see those red things went away here. I'm going to turn on nav mode and autopilot, and we should be on the way. So we got a flight in progress. It's telling you here we're going to get paid $17.37. We're going, this is where it started from, this is where it was at, which in this case is the same one, but if you had additional legs, those would not be the same. This is our destination, 79 miles, and we're flying with 3 Foo Fighters. See, we've got 189 gallons of fuel. We're airborne. I own the plane. I have it set to no rental price, so nobody can rent it. So that's why that's at 0. Over here, you can calculate if you have 7 passengers, this is the max amount of fuel you can. And then let's say if you had 200 gallons of fuel, calculate the max passengers would be the 7, which is the max anyway. So let's go 300 gallons of fuel. Calculate, exceeds limit. Let's try 250. 6 passengers and so on. We're going 78 nautical miles, it said. We will burn 15 gallons of fuel. Always consider that this is probably going to burn more than it says from what I've seen. Alright, I'm going to move this back over to the other screen. Take a look at the map here. Advance time. One problem I've had with this is these key commands in voice tech. Every time Microsoft Flight Simulator updates, I got to go in there and put the newer version in there. Active window doesn't seem to work. It probably does. I'm just missing something. It works okay in X-Plane. That's all right. I have very few commands in here, so I'll just update them real quick. That one's fine. Go back over here. Advanced time. Advanced time. we should be flying significantly faster than we were a minute ago. Let me set the altitude. Set the altitude to 10,300 just because that's what was on my screen there, at a vertical speed of 1,000. I'm looking at my SATEC control panels, doing this with real life hands. If you see some of my other videos, I show where I can actually see my real life controls in VR by using a small webcam. So if you check out one of those videos, there's one for X-Plane and one for Microsoft's Flight Simulator, I believe. I think I was just flying with flaps down. I corrected that. FX Economy. I used to own a whole bunch of FBOs. I can't make any money on those, so I sold them all but one that I fly out of. It is good to own one because then you buy fuel and pay for repairs that you do yourself. You're buying fuel from yourself, so you actually save a lot of money by owning that FBO. But as far as just owning them and trying to have people land and use them and make money, I've never been able to do so. The monthly costs are more than you get for the rentals, so I sold them all. And I do have planes that I probably should be renting, but not currently doing that either right now. But that's one good way to make money, is stage your plane at a big airport like Charlotte or something, and just let them rent out. Next waypoint right there is Buffett. Flying by that now. Got 55 miles to the next waypoint, so I can maintain this altitude okay. I don't know who she is. This external view, you can see your trim, your flaps, altitude, and all that stuff. I haven't used that drone camera much at all, really. I use this once in a while. Get a look at that cool scenery that we get in this game. Could go in here and Change the time of day. Hope that doesn't mess up my FS economy flight there by changing the time like that. I know in on-air that would screw you up. Clear skies, broken clouds. It's kind of cool. Live weather. That takes a while to sync up, I think. Let's see where we're at. About halfway to the next waypoint, which is 26 miles. I haven't done a lot of navigation in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I just use the GPS stuff. It's worth learning the other stuff. It seems easier in X-Plane to learn the VOR type navigation and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not an expert in that stuff. I just do this from a gaming point of view, not really trying to do things exactly how a real pilot would do. You would all die if you were in a real plane with me. You can zoom in on this map in here, but I don't like, it's too much work to play with all this stuff, particularly in VR. Here's our map. Get up to the airport, you can zoom in to where you can see. I'm going to see those additional runways go in the other direction. Not going to see that. Get close to this location here, I'm going to slow it down, start dropping altitude. And again, I just do that from a gaming point of view. I don't know. And I saw a video where a pilot, he did it like, if you're flying at 30,000 feet, take that by 1/3. So when you're 10 miles away, 1/3 of the 30,000. When you're 10 miles away, start your descent. And that seems to work pretty good and get a good glide slope. So if you're at 24,000 feet, 8 miles away, start your descent. I have no idea if that's authentic, but it seems to work good in the simulator. Drop the altitude right now down to about 8,000 feet with a descent of minus 1,000 feet per minute. I backed off the throttle a little bit. Now remember, I did advance time to make this actually fly faster, so I need to retard time. That should put us back down to the... Alright, I'm going to drop that altitude way down. Vertical speed way down. Turn off autopilot. So I think I'm too high for how close I am. Chop the throttle all the way out.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Landing gear down. Flaps all the way down. Yeah, I'm way too close for this altitude. Let's see if we can survive this or if we die. It's kind of cool. You can see the cars on the road right there, and they're significantly better than standard X-plane with the local vehicles and all that stuff. Alright, so little trickery there that we would have made all our passengers sick if we did that in real life. Chopping throttle, flaring a bit. There we are. Toe brakes on all the way. Get off the runway here. As soon as I hit my brakes, my parking brake, the flight will be confirmed. Flight is logged and the results can be found at the website. Get rid of that brake. And let's see. Go back to my flight. It shows us the KROA, banking, payment logs. There's our 1737 minus what we paid for FBO fees. And JM Aviation's, this is me, the pilot. This is the group I own, so there's a cost to them, but you know, goes back to my two accounts, Skidmark and JM Aviation, so it's not actually costing me anything. Back over here, this would be ready to, if you were continuing on, you start that flight over and get paid again. All right, that's it. Peace.